got rid of because it was really short, because it was like 5 minutes because the fire alarm went off. Turns out it was just a drill. So I'm just running a message real quick. All right, so let's do this one more time. So Detroit basketball, top of the Eastern Conference. Well, at one point had the best record in the NBA. They now have the third best record. But either way, they sit at 50-19. Top of the Eastern Conference, 2-game win streak, 5-5 in their last 10. Boston closes up a little bit, but they're still 4 games back. They had a bit of a backslide. They're 4 games back in the second seed. New York is 3, Cleveland at the 4, Toronto at the 5, and Atlanta, after winning 11 games in a row, finds themselves at the 6. Following that, you have the Orlando Magic at the 7, tied with Atlanta. Half a game back of them is Miami, tied with Miami's Philadelphia. Charlotte 2 games back of that group. Following that, you got Charlotte 2 games back of that group. And then after that, you got Milwaukee, Chicago, the only 2 teams remaining in the East that have not been eliminated but are not in the plan. They will be eliminated in due time. They just do not have the power to get back up. I mean, I think Milwaukee's 7 games back, Charlotte 8.5 games back, as I just checked it. And then Brooklyn, Washington, Indiana, already eliminated. Take a look at the West. Oklahoma City is the best team in the league, best team in the Western Conference, 55-15 record. Point differential of plus 11. They've won 10 games in a row, second hottest team in the league as they continue to try to pull away from the San Antonio Spurs, winners of 9 of their last 10. 4 in a row, 52-18 record. Then you got the Lakers, 45-25. They're 7 games back of the 2 seed. 2 games up on Minnesota. We'll see what happens with that. Speaking of which, Rams Farms 1346. Welcome into the stream. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Hello, everybody. Welcome in to, I'm here at Washington State University. But taking a look at the rest of the West, you got Minnesota, Houston, and Denver all within a game of each other. Denver and Houston tied 5th, 6th seed. Houston has the tiebreaker in that regard. Both teams not playing fantastic. Houston 4-6. Denver 5-5 in their last 10 games. Phoenix follows up, best of the play-in teams, followed by LA and Portland, both with losing records. Golden State holds on to that final play-in spot. From McKenna McGrew, what was your favorite part of 2025? Well, it wasn't technically part of 2025, but this whole Seahawks season that was in 2025 was fantastic. Then obviously they go on to win the Super Bowl, which was the best part of that year. But yeah, I mean, just leading up to it, that Rams game with the weird 2-point conversion, I was gonna say that was my favorite piece of news. Also, the whole Mariners playoff run was just fantastic. So great for the city of Seattle. So that's the standings. Memphis, New Orleans, and Dallas actually can still technically make it, but they're a long, long way back. Actually, I didn't even realize this. New Orleans has actually jumped Dallas in the standings, so Dallas down to 13th in the Western Conference. Just what a disaster it's been for them. But let's take a look at the matchups going on this weekend. Battle in New York, Knicks-Nets going on. Can the Nets score more than 24 points in a quarter? Probably not. We'll see. Spread on that one is New York minus 17.5. Oh man, I would say that's an insult to the Nets, but that's kind of entirely unsurprising. Warriors Pistons could be a good game. Hawks try to continue their win streak. They try to stretch that one to 12 as they play Houston on the road. Celtics Grizzlies really does not matter all that much. Blazers Wolves, same there. Raptors Denver Toronto could be a good game. That's going to determine a lot of things. Like I said, Denver is tied with Houston for the 5 seed. Atlanta is tied with Orlando. Toronto is trying to hang on to that 5 seed, so we'll see if they're able to do that. Taking a look at the matchups going on tomorrow, my Hornets, with a winning record, take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Wizards Thunder, man, that's gonna be a blowout. Lakers Magic, again, another intra-conference game. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Same with Warriors Hawks. Kristaps Porzingis returns to Atlanta, and we get finally Jonathan Kuminga versus Golden State. That'll be a lot of fun. Rockets versus Heat, another matchup between two teams, between the Rockets fighting for playoff seeding and a red-hot team in the Southeastern Conference. They've had a lot of those recently. And then that's just about it for the important matchup. 76ers Jazz, who cares? Bucks Suns, who cares? Let's take a look at Sunday. Blazers Nuggets, again, that doesn't really matter. Tank Bowl between Brooklyn and Sacramento. Timberwolves Celtics will be a good game. A lot of games in between conferences at the moment. A lot of West versus East matchups that are going to be big, not because of the actual results of the game, but because of where the seeding is going to end up. Those games are really going to matter. Same with Raptors Suns. That's the nightcap on Sunday evening. With that, let's take a couple teams I want to focus on. First of all, let's take a look at the red-hot Atlanta Hawks. I mean, this Atlanta team has just exploded recently. They started the season, unsurprisingly, about where we figured. You know, the end of the new year, they're 17-19, hovering around 500, just below it. They're 27-31 on February 20th. That was their last loss. Amy Apperson, 4157. Hello, welcome into the stream. They beat Brooklyn, take down Washington twice at home, beat Portland, beat Milwaukee. They're not playing good teams, but they're winning games. They beat the Sixers. That's a big win. Jalen Johnson drops 35 on that one. They beat Dallas, beat Brooklyn again, take down Milwaukee again, beat Orlando, another big win. That's another division win they pick up. Then they hammer Dallas. They got Houston coming up. Their schedule gets quite a bit tougher. The end of the year for them is quite a challenge. They faced Detroit once. They faced Boston twice. They have New York. They have two back-to-back against Cleveland. They round up the year at Miami. They have a couple easy games in there, Memphis, Golden State, Brooklyn, and Sacramento. But it's a tough end of the year for the Hawks, so they got to stack wins. It's good that they've stacked wins now because they are really going to need it. Taking a look at the other team, I want to look at the whole Southeast Division at the moment. Hello, everybody. Michael Calvin 16-0. Welcome in. Good to have you in the stream. I just want to look at the whole Southeast Division right now because this division is crazy. They all decided to get really good at the same time. The Hawks, I already said, 1-11 in a row. Orlando, Miami cooled off a little bit, but both 7-3 in their last 10, as are the Charlotte Hornets. This battle is really ramping up. All those teams now are above 500. Hello, everybody. Thank you for saying hi. Welcome in. Yeah, I mean, if you look, the Central Division is by far the weakest division here. Milwaukee, Chicago, Indiana. But yeah, Southeast Division, red hot. All those teams above 500. 6, 7, 8, 10 in the standings. And like I said, that's going to change real fast because the difference between the 6 and the 10 at the moment is only 2.5 games. And that could change in the blink of an eye, and I'm sure it will. Anya Samita, welcome in. You're the best. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you. All right. Let's take a look at the possible playoff matchups at this point in the year. I know that NBA.com standings are, at this point in the year, formatted into a bracket, which is very helpful to see because it just allows you to actually visualize what we're looking at. So, at the moment, I'm going to assume the Blazers beat the Warriors, Suns beat the Clippers, Clippers beat the Warriors. That's my guess. Sorry, Clippers beat the Blazers. For the sake of it, I'll say the Blazers win because I'd rather see them win. And then I would take the Hornets over the Sixers, the Magic over the Heat, and then the Hornets over the Heat. So Hornets get the 8 seed, Magic get the 7 seed, Suns get the 7 seed, Blazers get the 8 seed. So that would set up first round matchup between Portland and OKC. I'm taking the Thunder. We'd have the 5-4 matchup. That would be Minnesota-Houston. Give me Minnesota. The 3-6 matchup is Denver-LA. I think in that one I'm going to take the Nuggets. And then you got Sun Spurs, give me the Spurs, which would mean we have Wolves Thunder, give me the Thunder. We got Nuggets Spurs, give me the Spurs. Thunder Spurs, give me the Spurs. So that's San Antonio advancing to the finals out of the Western Conference. Then in the East, I have the Pistons over the Hornets. I think the Hornets are going to put up a big fight in that series, and that should be a whole lot of fun to watch. I just get the feeling that that's going to be a closer series than I think a lot of people would give Charlotte credit for. Give me the Raptors over. Give me the Cavs over the Raptors. Give me the Knicks over the Hawks. I don't think the Hawks are going to be the 6th seed anyway, but we'll see. And then give me the Celtics over the Orlando Magic. That sets up Knicks Celtics and Cavaliers Pistons. Give me the Pistons over the Cavaliers. Give me the Knicks over the Celtics. I think they surprise people. So that sets up Detroit, New York for the finals, for the Eastern Conference Finals. Do I have a pet? I do. I have a dog, but she's back home in Seattle. Unfortunately, my dorm here at Washington State does not allow pets, so yeah, I do have a dog, but she is not here at the moment. So that sets up New York, Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm gonna surprise some people here. I'm gonna take the Knicks. So I have the Knicks out of the East. That sets up Spurs, New York. That sets up San Antonio, New York for the NBA Finals. Rematch of 1999. You have a Chihuahua? Oh, that's awesome. I love Chihuahuas. I think they got a bad rap. I'll tell you what. A lot of people say they don't like Chihuahuas, that they're evil or something. I like them. They're fun. I like them. So Spurs, Knicks, NBA Finals, rematch in 99. Give me the Spurs in 6. So that would be, as of right now, my prediction. I obviously think that this is going to change. I don't think Atlanta's going to stay at the 6. I could see Cavs Knicks switching. I could see Knicks Celtics switching. It all just really depends on how the last month of the year goes. Are we within a month of the season ending? I think we are. Yeah, the final game of the regular season is Sunday, April 12th. It's March 20th. So yeah, we are absolutely within a month of the season ending. Last thing I wanted to take a look at, just for my own personal bias, is my Charlotte Hornets. Let's take a look at them. They got Memphis, Sacramento, New York, Philadelphia, Boston, Brooklyn. So probably 3-3. I think you beat Memphis, you beat Sacramento, you lose to New York, you lose to Philadelphia, lose to Boston, beat Brooklyn. I'm pretty perfectly happy with that. I think we could beat Philadelphia as well, honestly. But yeah, the Hornets schedule is really not that bad. Outside of Boston twice, New York, and Minnesota. Actually, they got New York twice. Yeah, New York twice, Boston twice. Got Memphis, that's a beatable team. Sacramento, a beatable team. Brooklyn, a beatable team. Indiana. Their last 4, though, quite tough. Minnesota on the road. Boston on the road. Detroit at home. New York on the road. Better have that playoff seeding locked up if you're the Charlotte Hornets before you get to the very end of the season. Now, before we go, let's take a look at the NCAA tournament. It's time to talk March Madness. I know this is technically an NBA stream, but, you know, I love basketball. I love basketball in all its forms. So let's take a quick look at what we got. Do I like basketball? I do like basketball. I'd say basketball is probably, I don't know. I like a lot of sports, but basketball is certainly up there. So let's take a look at what we got tournament-wise. Is there a way to view the bracket? No, evidently there is not. Or maybe ESPN is just not good. Hang on, NCAA tournament. There we go. I can view the bracket from NCAA. All right. So Duke survived Siena. That was a fantastic game. It looked for a very long time there like Siena was actually going to pull the upset. Ohio State goes down to TCU. Louisville gets past South Florida. North Dakota State goes down to Michigan State. No surprises there. No real upsets. And that one, Vanderbilt survives McNeese. Nebraska gets their first men's basketball tournament win of all time. And I want to say, by the way, I very much did not like the fact that on the broadcast and on all the stats they say first win in tournament history, because that's not true. The women's team won a couple years ago. Now, I understand that it's different, but, you know, hey, the school has won in the tournament before, so same men's team. I think that's what they should have done there. VCU stuns North Carolina, comes back from a huge deficit to win that game in overtime. Illinois gets past Penn. VCU, Illinois, that'll be a good game. St. Mary's just continues to disappoint in the tournament. They go down to Texas A&M, and Houston basically just ruined Idaho. Taking a look at the top right of the bracket, Arizona gets past Long Island without much difficulty. Villanova, Utah State is going on right now. Let me check the score in that game. I see it won't let me. Okay, never mind. High Point shocks Wisconsin. That was a great game there. Arkansas gets past Hawaii. High Point, Arkansas. That's going to be a lot of fun. Texas gets past BYU. Gonzaga, a little bit of tough game against Kennesaw State. They're able to get past that one. Gonzaga, Texas in the West. Florida, Missouri hasn't happened yet. Purdue, Queens hasn't happened yet. Michigan gets past Howard. St. Louis just smacks Georgia. Texas Tech is able to get past Akron. Alabama Hofstra's going on at the moment. Actually, let me pull up another window so I can talk about the games going on right now. Tennessee State down big to Iowa State. Hofstra leading Alabama by 2. Hey, my grandma's alma mater might actually get a big win there. What a fantastic win that would be for them. Virginia able to get past Wright. We haven't gotten to that part. So, yeah, those are the only games going on right now. Are Tennessee State, Iowa State, Hofstra, Alabama. So, that's what's going on now. Virginia gets past Wright State. That was a pretty decent game. Tennessee, Miami, Ohio should be fun. Santa Clara looked like they had Kentucky. They didn't just look at it like it. They had Kentucky on the ropes and just dropped the ball. They go down. So, very disappointing showing from the West Coast Conference. Santa Clara gets knocked out by Kentucky. St. Mary's gets taken down by A&M. And even Gonzaga struggling quite a bit against a very much inferior team. Kennesaw State is not a team that Gonzaga, with how much prestige they have, should be struggling against. But they did. They were able to get the win, but they were down, I believe, they were down for a majority of the first half. Let's take a look at the other games that are going on today. St. John's, Northern Iowa, Kansas, Cal Baptist. A lot of people are picking that upset. UCLA, UCF, that should be fun. Furman, UConn, nothing there. Prairie View A&M, last chance for a 16 seed to get the upset. Clemson, Iowa. Most of this bottom left corner of the bracket's already done. But yeah, it should be fun. The unfortunate thing is I forgot to fill out a bracket this year, so I have no stake. But, I suppose having no stake is, a good thing, actually, because it's a lot more fun when you don't have to worry about if your bracket's going to get obliterated. It's a lot of fun. That's why I was rooting for Siena to get that win there. What is the score in that Villanova-Utah State game? That was the other one I wanted to check the score of. Oh, it hasn't started yet. It's about to start. I see. All right. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Did I watch the Super Bowl? Yes, I did. My Seattle Seahawks picking up a big win against the Patriots, and they pick up their second Super Bowl win. I'll tell you what, this one, it was weird for me because, of course, I was excited that we won. Obviously, I was incredibly happy, but it was weird. It felt very weird, and the reason I say weird is because the first one, to me, felt a lot bigger. And the reason I say that, and I think this is kind of weird to think about, is, your team wins one, all right, that's the ultimate goal. Then you win another one. It's like, all right, well, we already had one. And I think the other thing is, once we beat LA, I was incredibly hyped when we beat the Rams. But I think the weird thing was, after that, I felt like, yeah, we should win. We should win. And then we did. So I feel like I kind of already thought, yeah, we've won at that point when we started to, even before we played New England. So I think that was part of my problem, I suppose, because I just expected us to win. And then we did. But yeah, obviously, unbelievable to win another Super Bowl. I mean, it really shows you the best of the best when you can win multiple generations, multiple different teams. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Yeah, I cannot overstate how big it is for the city of Seattle just to have so much sports success at the moment. Because there's the questions of, is Starbucks leaving? The city still has a bad homelessness crisis at the moment, but through that all, sports in Seattle have always been a beacon of hope because the Mariners are finally getting back on track. They're one of the favorites, if not probably the favorite, to get out of the American League this year. Finally make that first World Series. The Seahawks are the top of the world in the NFL. They've won their second Super Bowl. The Kraken are still fighting for a playoff spot. How amazing would it be after the disastrous season they had last year if they were able to make the playoffs in just the season after. Just the season after they had that disastrous year. Then you got the prospect of the Sonics coming back. And as someone who never really saw them, I took a look. Obviously, I looked at them a couple times, but I was like 2 or 3 years old, so it was not really anything that I could have done. But it'll be nice to have them back, and I really do hope we get them back because if for some reason they determine it's not worth it, I mean I think Seattle fans should just stop watching basketball, to be honest. If we can't get the Sonics back then, but you never know. So, with that, I think that's all I wanted to say today. If you enjoyed the stream, consider subscribing. It just helps me out a lot. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But it's been a lot of fun. I got some stuff to do. I'm calling the Grand Canyon University versus Washington State baseball home opener from Bailey Brayton Field at 4:30. If you want to check that out, go check out KUGR Sports on YouTube. It's a lot of fun. With that, tip my cap to all of y'all for showing up. It's been a lot of fun, and as always, I've been Slideshow Sports, and I will